And welcome back to Top Dogs. My name is Fiction Boy.
I'm Stream Arcadad.
I'm Blue.
And I'm Dark.
And today's topic, we're going to be talking about drama. But before we start with drama, why do we have Blue and Dark here? Well, these are our video editors on TikTok, so yay!
Thanks for joining us, guys. It's fun to have you. Clap the controllers.
Clap those. Yeah, you've been clapping those controllers pretty well.
Hair.
How does it feel to be on the video editor team, if I may ask?
Pretty fun.
I enjoy it. So you go first.
No, what's going on with him now?
It's okay.
I'm nervous.
I can definitely tell.
I get giggly
You'll
when
be
I'm
fine,
nervous.
puppy. You'll be good. I believe in
You're
you.
good.
You're a good boy. You can do this.
But yes, this is our video editing team on TikTok. They actually edit all our videos, and without them, we wouldn't be actually posting any content on TikTok. So thanks, guys, for that.
Thanks a lot. We really
no
appreciate
problem.
it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, on topic, drama. Now, everybody goes through drama, correct? Nobody's really safe from it. And no matter what you do, no matter how kind you are, you will always find yourself in the middle of it. Now, especially in our own community. Let me ask you this. What's an example that you have had when you had to deal with drama? And we'll start off with Stream.
So I didn't receive a lot of drama, but I had a situation a few years back when I started in the community where there was this challenge where you would get on your top of your car and you would pose in your underwear. So I kind of did that, and somebody started saying that, like, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing this. This is so lame, and started like insulting me for doing it. And it got me really triggered. Now, how I dealt with the situation, we're going to answer it as we go along through different of the points. But this is a situation that I've received. It made me completely furious. I didn't know what to do about it. I was really confused. But I figured something out that, in the end, worked out for the best, actually. But we're going to talk about that later. What about you, Fiction?
Before I answer my question, I'm going to say this right now. Will Blash is not with us again this week. He's taking another break. So we are not sure when he'll be back exactly. Just we'll see how time goes by, but he will be back. He's not leaving this podcast. He just needs a little time. So, I have experienced many types of dramas with myself and with others that are in different varieties for different reasons. Mostly they're all childish. But that's all I'll say as of right now. But I'll say from a way of not like pointing the finger, it seems like most of the drama is caused by 1, envy, 2, jealousy.
Yep.
And it's a very common practice within our own community for something that could be very small or for something that's very big. Most of the time, it's very small. All right,
yeah.
Blue, what about you?
What was the question again?
Give an example of drama you have experienced, either for yourself or with a friend, or someone you may have known.
Well, pretty recently, I figured out one of my old friends who I haven't seen in a long time. They apparently stirred up some drama within a really big group, and they left because they thought we weren't worth it, and it was just kind of like a whole. I don't want to say shenanigan. That's not the right word. It was a whole big deal, and it just kind of left everyone like kind of broken.
Hmm. Okay. What about you, Red? I mean, Dark.
Red Dark.
Well, I mean, to keep things kind like without saying any like names or anything, it was mostly just like drama with friends, really. Boyfriends, girlfriends, them fighting, blah blah blah, that kind of drama I've always had, and so much about people being fake about like doing stuff and all that sort of thing. And I was always getting, everybody kept involving me, even though I did not want to be part of it.
I wanted to bring up a point about that. I don't understand why there is some people within our own community that forces people to make a choice on a side that is not being a good friend. Shame on you for doing that. Don't ever force your friend to make a choice, no matter what the circumstances is. You let them decide that on their own. If they choose you, that's good. If they choose the other side, well, that's also their choice. You cannot change that. Don't force them to change it because it's going to make you look bad.
True.
All right. So I'm going to ask you this. We'll start off with Stream again. So Stream, would you deal with drama?
My personal way to deal with drama is just not paying attention to it. I mean, like, people that start drama, usually they do it because they want to provoke you. They want to create a reaction. They want to do something. There's other thing in the background that the reasons why they do it, but the main reason why is usually they want to provoke you for X whatever reason. So usually my way of seeing it is I ignore it, because in theory, I don't believe I've done anything wrong. I don't need to prove myself. I don't need to justify myself. So I just ignore it as if nothing has happened. And if people come to me and ask me questions about it, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Apparently this happened, so I give them my side of the story. And then after that, they make their judgment on their own. And you know what? We'll bring back the subject of real friends. Your real friends out there will show themselves by coming up to you and asking, what's the deal? What is going on? But the people that you think are friends, who turn out not to be friends, are the people that just because of a drama story, they block you and they unfriend you everywhere. These, I'm sorry, but these are not actual friends. I made reference to the trees, the leaves, the branches, and everything. These people are probably branches that just cracked at the slight gust of wind. So just don't pay attention to these people. They're not worth your time anymore. And you just needed a situation of drama to for you to realize that that's who the person they are, and they're probably not worth your time anymore. So again, if you deal with drama, just don't give it any slight amount of attention, and you don't need to justify yourself, because justifying yourself for some people makes you look like you're hiding something. So just don't pay attention to it. Ignore it. It's not worth your time.
That's a very good answer, Stream. It's actually on the lines of my own answer. I've been a victim of that kind of a drama before, where I've had people try to start stuff with me, but I chose to ignore it because I personally didn't think I'd do anything wrong. And when that happened, I pretended, hey. Actually, no, I didn't pretend. I knew it was happening. I just made the choice to let them ramble on, and ramble on they did. And I continued to be myself, regardless of what people may or may not think. And I learned from what he's saying, yes, they want to provoke you, and that is very real. For their purposes of starting drama with me was over a furry that I met during my trip to go see this person, and they, for some reason, I don't know their motive, but it was a friend that I wanted to meet and stuff like that, and they turned into some big deal. And I went home the next day. They wanted to start a drama over something that had nothing to do what they're trying to start it with, and so I just let them continue what they wanted to say. Didn't really think much about it, and of course, as they always say, and like I said, I didn't really do anything wrong, and they made these accusations about me and stuff like that. And I just let it happen, and after a while, people didn't believe them. Some people did. I've had a few DMs of very inappropriate messages from other furries in the community, but it didn't really affect me in the slightest. I'm like, okay, that's your choice, and I'm fine with it. Didn't even give them the courtesy to respond.
At least they got both sides of the middle, and now they can make their own decision. And that's where it's going to be a tiebreaker, seeing like, okay, is this a person I want to hang out with or not anymore? Because your values just doesn't fit anymore. And usually it's funny because it's always the same people that start the drama, and the more they do it, they start losing their credibility, and at one point they just don't believe in it anymore. So that's why you should always ignore those people, is because they keep barking but they have no bite, and they end up just falling in the cracks. You know, they just forget about it.
Yeah, they do. If another example, if I was
sorry.
Actually,
No,
I would
finish
say
your point.
this.
Finish your point.
Example of another example would be of another victim. This is kind of not really much of a drama. This is more like I don't really understood this person's problem exactly. I ended up unfollowing somebody, not because, especially on Twitter, and it's not because I didn't think the person was a bad person, nor did I ever think they were, you know, a good person at all. I just like, you know, this is my predicament, in my opinion, and this is how I am. If the said person does not communicate with me a lot and doesn't really take the time to be my friend, I will unfollow them, but I don't think any less of them. They have their own right to pursue whatever they want, and I'm okay with that. I don't really follow a lot of people on Twitter for that reason, because I have never actually communicate with them, and the people that I usually do follow, actually I like their content. But the thing is that the people that were my friends and I've hanged out with them, and all of a sudden they just, you know, ghosted me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Big deal. I'll unfollow you. You do your own thing. We're cool. I'll do my thing. But then somebody made it a big deal that I unfollowed them, and I'm like, so I'm just a statistic to you. That's cool. I mean, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
That's your own insecurity. Whatever.
So again, it brings back the fact that people, they tend to get attached very easily, and they tend to consider themselves friends a bit too quickly, when most of the time we're just acquaintances. People we hang out, we see, we talk sometimes they're a bit more than acquaintances, but most of the time they are, and we don't have to get along with everyone. People feel this urge in the furry fandom to please every single people they know. Just be true to yourself while being respectful, of course, and everything should be fine. And you'll see people will stick around, some will leave, and that's fine.
Yeah, that just means that they're not really, you know, a person that you can vibe with, and that's fine. I'd rather be honest with myself and be alone than I was to be a fake person and be miserable. But you know what? Go ahead, Blue. What do you have to say?
For me personally, if there's some sort of drama involved, specifically when they try to get me involved, I try to find why, like an understanding. I don't try to ignore it because I know it's happening right in front of me, specifically if they try and keep pushing it. So I'm trying to find, like, okay, why is this happening? Why do you feel this way? How can we resolve this? If there is no resolve, then I just step back because I know there's nothing I can do about it. I know what I know, but I can't do anything to help you or fix it. Because this happened to me. It happened a few years ago. Someone tried to make accusations about me, and I tried to understand. I was like, okay, why are you saying this? And they just kept saying the same thing. They didn't tell me why. And it just doesn't help. Because that just, it feels like, what is it? The term is like fuel in the fire? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
pouring gas on the fire.
Yeah, that. You're making it worse. You're not helping anyone to resolve this issue. You're making it worse.
That's usually why I ignore those people, is because sometimes you try to talk to them, it just makes things worse. It honestly just makes it worse. So I just ignore it.
The issue is that a lot of people... That's fair. The issue with a lot of things is that when it comes to drama, is that people are sheep and like to follow.
Oh, that is so true. So goddamn true.
100% true. Pretty much. I've seen it happen
Don't be a
literally
sheep.
everywhere. I kid you not, but this was back in like 2018. This was back when I was still in high school. So there was this guy and his girlfriend. She started rumors about him cheating on her or whatever. Such drama, the stupid adolescent drama stuff that happens. She literally got all her friends on her side, and he got all his friends on their side, and then like I'm somehow friends with one of them, and then I'm getting involved in all this drama, and I'm just like, you guys deal with it. I don't want to be the one deciding what you guys do. Like, I don't care what you guys are dealing with. It's your choice.
Okay.
Like, if you're causing all the drama and stuff, they have to deal with it.
Can I ask you this one question? If it's a relationship drama, why can't they just leave their drama, their issues about the relationship to themselves, and they can deal with it? I don't understand why other people that are not in the relationship need to be involved.
That's another point I want to talk about later, actually.
I think the main reason is because they just want attention.
Yeah.
A lot of people just want attention. They might just do it for like pretend to have drama just to be popular or have other people on their side. I'll be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry that this has happened to you, and like all that.
I'll get to that point later. I'll actually have something to mention about that. Bringing up your point. So when people say, well, how does drama start? And why do people do it? Well, there's a variety of reasons why people do it, but how does it usually start is by, what you were saying earlier is that people do it for attention. It's an insecurity thing, but I will say this to anybody who is trying to find that place where they belong. The thing is, you're doing it wrong. If you want that attention for yourself, then you're going to have to surround yourself with people who care about you, not so much people that you do not know. The thing is, if you're trying to get some type of identity or the celebrity identity, the thing is, though, is that what you're doing is for... If I was to use an example of one furry, but I'm not going to mention their name, is that they're known for doing a lot of shock value, and that's their way of getting attention. But the thing is, that attention is very short-lived. You haven't really brought anything to the table worth remembering for. You have to put in a lot of effort if you want to be remembered that way, especially for the good reasons. But if you are just wanting personal, care and attention, you gotta have to look around, seek people who will be okay with who you are, and be content with that.
Yeah.
But in terms of what, like me or Stream done, like content creation, people remember us for that. And usually it's funny. Sometimes it's good. Everybody has their different resume in terms of what we do. There's many people that have in this community that are recognized by just strangers because of the content they bring. That's usually the only way you will be noticed, and you have to be, especially if you want to be noticed in that particular way, an internet personality trait where people remember you. You have to be very consistent about it, because if you're not consistent about it, you're going to be forgotten.
Well,
you have to bring something to your table in that sense.
Yeah. I think on my end, I think the people that start drama most of the time are people that, they envy. They're envious, they're bored, or they're jealous of what somebody else has. So as soon as they're going to find something annoying, they're going to call you out for it. And that's usually what they want. So that's why, another reason why I say don't answer. Don't justify yourself, because you're feeding the drama. You're giving that person who wants to start shit exactly what he needs. And sometimes it's not even conscious, it's subconscious. Like that person that insulted me for doing this challenge on top of my car. The guy is in his 40s and he lives in his mom's basement. while I'm a married man that I have my life set together. Well, back then I wasn't married, but I had my career, I had my car, I had my own place and everything. And I'm receiving this drama from this person, and like automatically to me, they lose all their credibility because I know exactly what they're doing. They're envying the life that I have because they can't pick themselves up. They can't like bring themselves out there, go find a job, and the guy didn't have any medical conditions, by the way, just to clarify things. The guy was in good health to work and do everything he wanted, but he just decided to just unload on me because it felt good for him, because it was a way for him to boost his ego or self-esteem, which is not a healthy way of doing it. If you want to go out there and be known and popular or whatever, think about what do you want people to remember you for? Do you want to be remembered as this asshole that kept on creating drama? Or you want to be recognized for this guy that makes content to make people laugh, that does charity work to help other people, which I've done, that hosted parties to give people something to gather around, because in your area, nothing happens in the furry community. You need to think about what you want to put out there. To me, my number one rule in social media is if you have anything, anything you post should be either neutral or positive. If it's negative, don't say it. Just don't do anything. Just don't say it. You're getting attacked with drama. It's negative. Don't answer. It's simple as that. Follow that rule, and you'll gather people around you, and people, when will hear drama about you, they won't believe it because they know who you are. Like, no, the stream would not do something like that. That's complete utter bullshit. This guy's stupid, and these people will actually end up sinking their own ship.
Just keep in mind of what you do, what you want to be remembered for, though. If I could use an example of someone who actually has a good reputation, it would be think of it like a rock and roll star who's maybe got hurt on stage, and he's in pain a lot. Another good example would be Post Malone. He actually did get hurt on stage. He actually hurt his rib cage, but he actually still performed that day just to give to the people what he wants, because he still remembers, without those fans, he would not be where he is right now. So he has to return while in pain. That's usually a good thing. I know that's not you don't want to be in pain and then you have a good time. Nobody does that, but I'm just saying he remembers where he's at, kind of thing.
He is grateful for his fans and the people that paid tickets to go see him. So he thinks about them. That's sweet.
Yeah, that's how it goes. And sometimes when you're having a bad day, because we all have our bad days, you still have to, put yourself out there. There's been many times I came on this show and actually did not have a good day. There's been a couple of times that I did, and I still went out of my way to put on an episode for people who watch this or even hear this. And
yeah.
I do remember one time, stream, hey, you were not feeling good that one day. I'm not going to mention why, but we all know that one day. You were not feeling great that day, and you still did it.
No, I still did it because I wanted to do this. I want to get involved in this project and, be part of the team.
Yeah, those kinds of things. If you want to be remembered for those things, those are the good reasons to be remembered for, not for petty drama, especially petty drama, because those things are short-lived. It's shock value.
That doesn't work
Nobody
either.
cares about that.
Don't pity. Don't do any public pity. And if you get involved into drama, minimize the amount of people that know about the story. Even though you're on the receiving end and you're trying to defend yourself, the least amount of people that knows about it, the better. So don't talk about it. Again, brings back the fact that you should ignore it. What do you guys think?
I will say it's interesting how what you just said, the least amount of people to know it, the better. But then that should also raise the fact of corporate drama, certain companies doing certain things that some people don't like, and then some people don't like. That's a pretty large majority of people. So when you have that many people, it's still the same circumstances, but it's on a larger scale, and I think it's
but again, we're talking more about. But it's more. again, we're talking more about like individuals. Companies, that's a whole different thing. If a company is doing something wrong, then I think we should like hold together and trying to fight this company that is doing something wrong. But when it's an individual, I think the whole story is kind of different. Because the more people knows about it, the more it feeds the drama, and then people start asking you questions, then bombards you, and then blocks you, and it creates this whole mess. I've seen it happen with a friend of mine.
Corporate drama is a different perspective, and that's usually handled differently than it is individual drama, so to speak.
Quite opposite, I think.
It is very different.
In a real way, there is no way we're gonna ever get rid of drama. It's gonna happen one way or another. Individuals, large companies, worldwide, nothing's ever gonna change. There's always going to be one person doing everything.
We could use one example, which was Elon Musk, who bought Twitter, and how there's some people who like and may not like it. That's a good example, but he's just a businessman at the end of the day. He's doing what he loves doing, and what is well, that shouldn't matter to you. He's not affecting your life. If you don't like it, that's your choice, kind of thing.
And one thing I've realized over time is that drama is literally everywhere. I used to play airsoft a lot back in the previous place I used to live, and I was really involved in it. And at one point, there was so much drama, and we call them chair softing because they're playing airsoft on their keyboard and chairs. And I was like, wow, this is such bullshit. I can't stand this anymore. So I saw the furries. I'm like, oh, cool. Bunch of people that like dressed up in animal costumes, and they socialize and they give themselves hugs. How could there be drama? I was so wrong. It's actually worse than I thought. And it came to me, I realized that whatever hobby you have, there's always going to be drama. If there's not drama yet, it's either one, it hasn't been long enough, two, you haven't been involved into it enough for it to start seeing it happen. So
if I was to use an example,
in the cosplay, drone racing, airsoft, furries,
fitness industry, especially.
Yeah.
For example, I won't. Oh yeah, I've had those instances where a guy came out and was like, "You see that dude over there? He's juiced up and shit," and I'm like, "I don't give a shit. That's his choice." I'm like, I don't care. That's his choice. If he wants to be juiced up on anabolic steroids, well, that's his life. Why are you judging him for it? And usually, but that brings up to the point: why do people, why do people do it? It's because most of the time why people start drama, it comes in a variety of things. Usually, like I said earlier, jealousy, enviously of what somebody has. Especially and I'm looking at this dude that was talking to me about it. He was a scrawny dude compared to me. But compared to me to the other guy that was juiced up, yeah, he's way bigger than me. Obviously, I knew he was doing, things, but I don't care. Whatever he does with his body is his own consequence. It's not my fault. It's not my problem. Whatever happens to him in the end, if he's aware of the consequences of his own actions, let him be. Who cares?
He might look good right now, but he's making his life a lot shorter by doing those drugs. It's temporary.
That's if you know how to. Well, that's if you had the knowledge to actually know how to, balance it.
Yeah.
That's if he has that knowledge. But if there was you got any other examples, maybe some examples like outside the furry community that maybe you could explain? Like you mentioned airsoft. Like, what goes on in the airsoft community that happens?
So there was this guy that kept on bragging that he was like, oh yeah, 4 against 1, bring it on, I can do this. And like the guy was like super pumping himself. The thing is, the guy was not in the best physical condition to be able to do any sort of bragging. And he was a guy that worked at IT. He's a father. I think he had 2 kids, and we were playing with a group. It's a group of airsofters where we introduced young people and teens like 16 and up to playing airsoft, but we're giving them the teaching and the security they need to learn on how to do it. And what the hell? Garage doors
did you just hit your fan?
No, that's my garage door opening.
Oh,
Why?
I'm recording right now. Can you close the door, please? So the guy was like trash talking, saying that he could do this and he was gonna kick everybody's ass. And then there's two kids that are like 17 and 18. They show up to the game and they whip his ass, like unbelievable. We were laughing our asses off, and he was like, "Oh, it's not fair. They kicked me. There were two of them." I'm like, dude, stop talking. You just said that you could tackle 4 against 1. Just shut up. It was funny.
Yeah, be careful about bragging, especially bragging, because people are going to take you up for that. It's in human nature to, if someone speaks very boldly in a statement about, oh, I'm going to do this, well, people remember that kind of thing. That's for sure. So
tell me that the garage.
Why do you think? Well, let me ask this. And I'm not going to start with you guys for this one. We'll start with Blue. So, why do you think people enjoy stirring up drama?
I'll say it's because of like justification. They want to be justified. Like they'll have like one little thing that they don't like about one certain person, and then they'll try to emphasize how bad it is, and then they'll try to justify themselves so they can feel better than the other person.
Yeah.
So going on the point of jealousy.
There's always going to be one thing, and I don't care how perfect somebody is, whether you're a close friend, whether it's your boyfriend or if it's your girlfriend. I'll say this right now. Your partner or your best friend or a stranger that you just met is never going to be perfect. There's going to be that one thing you don't like about them. We have one friend, me and Colton, and he's a really good person, but we find it annoying when he's very indecisive. But that's just who he is, and that's how you have to accept him. I don't care what people say. You're never going to find that perfect friend, perfect boyfriend, perfect girlfriend. There's going to be that one thing. But that's just preference of who you are. But if you're going to put them down for it, then shame on you, kind of thing. You have to accept them for who they are.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But also, explaining that, I'm also so relatable to that because I'm the indecisive person myself.
That's okay.
I can never decide properly.
Well, here's an example of our friend. Recently, and this was just like recently, like maybe a couple of hours ago, Colton brought our friend to eat some ramen. A ramen place. And
you make me hungry.
I'm sorry. Oh, well, not really.
Go ahead,
but anyways, we brought him there. We went to go inside to get our table. Table was already there was one free table of a booth that was clearing up, and we were ready to do it. And he was all for it. And he's like, as soon as we in there, he realized, oh, it's a restaurant. And he's like, and he's the type of guy that doesn't like Colton, like, spending money on him to, treat him to dinner, so to speak. And so he becomes indecisive about that situation. And he's like, well, why don't we just go to Chipotle? Because and then Colton keeps insisting, like, no, it's fine. I got this. And he keeps arguing with it because he's being indecisive. And he's like, he won't stop. Am I right, Colton? That's the indecisive part of him that you don't like, so to speak? Or am I?
No, not that I don't
take
like.
A gift?
Not that I don't like. It's just that he feels like he doesn't want to burden on others because of how he's like brought up and stuff.
Aww.
So it's like it's all like how he grew up and stuff. Like, it's just like I understand. Like there's always something about another person that you'll find, and then the more that you know about them, you see that's how they are. So it's a point of understanding. So there's always understanding that can be brought about.
And there's always going to be that one thing that you may not like in the person, but you have to be okay with it.
I mean, nobody's perfect. You just gotta outweigh. They gotta have a lot of. They're gonna have some pros. They're gonna have some cons. And as long as the pros outweighs the con, I think this friendship can work. And it applies to like love relationship as well. But when people they offer you something, it's okay to say no. But if the person is insisting on like, hey, I'm treating you to dinner tonight. if you're saying no again, you're in some way are refusing their appreciation of you, their friendship of you. So it's okay to say no, but if like the person's like, no, I really want to give you this because, you know, I care about you, just take the gift. It's a polite thing to do.
It's kind of like when someone wants to make a compliment saying you're cute, and you're like, no, and you really believe you're not cute, but, you know, they keep saying you are, and you keep being in denial, and I mean legit denial, not just being a brat. Yeah.
Bringing back the self-esteem episode. Take the goddamn compliment.
Yeah, exactly right there. It's been like 2 years, and I still call him cute, and he still denies it. I'm trying to get him one day where he's not paying attention, and he agrees with it, and then I'll be happy.
Well, and also,
you just keep on insisting. It's just like,
exactly,
take the compliment.
but the whole thing about stirring drama about that is usually, I think the short answer to it is because they really have nothing better to do with their lives. They're so bored with their lives, and they want some type of excitement in their lives. Even if it's bad, they're gonna find it. That's usually what happens.
They got to break the routine, as they say. Like, this guy that did the drama, he lived in a mom's basement, and the only thing he talks and lives for is furries. So when there's no cons, no hangout, no events or nothing, what he does? Starts typing on his keyboard, gets on Facebook, Twitter, starts pulling shit. Now he's calmed down. Like I haven't heard about the guy for like 8 years, so it's a past story, and he's probably changed, probably evolved. I believe everybody can change and everybody can improve. And I like to be proven otherwise. If I have a wrong opinion of someone, I'm always open-minded to be proven wrong and be Stream. You should consider this fact about this person. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'll think about it. And then I'm like, okay, that's cool. I accept that. But most people, that's what they do, is that they got nothing else to do and they're bored. So they just start stirring shit up. Find yourself some hobbies. There's so many things you can do. Honestly, I have so many hobbies. I wish I could just give them out to people because it's getting overwhelming at this point. Not to brag or anything, but, yeah, well, Dark, you modify and fix 3DSs and do console work and stuff. So I think that's really cool. That's a cool hobby.
It's not just like... how do I explain this? I'm more of like a repair guy, right? Like, I like repairing things. I actually learned from watching a YouTube video back on the iPhone 4. That's when I started learning how to repair things, and then I kept doing it. I know how to repair consoles, desktops, laptops now, and everything. And it went from a little tiny smartphone to being able to literally repair pretty much anything. Well, I don't know about blenders and microwaves and fridges, but maybe eventually.
They're not as fun, honestly. They're pretty basic. But most of the time, one thing I've noticed is that people that start drama, they have no hobbies. They're so bored because... like, when you start getting involved into hobbies and being busy, you don't have time for bullshit anymore. You just don't. And you reach a point in your life or age, you reach a certain age where, like, man, I gotta get my stuff straight. I gotta line myself up for a success and, like, a good, decent future and a retirement. And you just don't have time for drama anymore. So, compare it... think about that. It's like when I think of those people that are starting drama, I just look at their social situation, how they are. I'm like, they're lame. They're just goddamn lame. I'm like, come on, man, pick yourself up, do something. I feel bad for you, actually. I end up feeling bad for these people most of the time.
I don't think, and that brings us to the other question about age. Is usually, what do you think is the age that usually starts drama? Now, a lot of people would say maybe people under their mid-20s. Honestly, the people that were trying to put me in the situation of drama was people in their 30s. That's just from my own experiences. I had many people in their 30s try to start drama with me. When especially I've had a situation where one person, she was not happy with me about something in the situation. And the thing is that it really was none of her business. And the thing that she got mad at me about was also being hypocritical, because I'll say this: I posted a picture with my grandparents. I was in Orlando, Florida, we were in a restaurant having a good time, during COVID season. But the thing is, we were all 6 feet apart, being considerate about how others might be when they're eating. And I posted this photo file inside a Telegram group of hers, and she's like, shame on you and taking on the risk of risking other people while to go eat. How dare you go to travel to vacation and do that stuff? And I'm like, you literally just went on a trip to Boston.
Yeah.
2 weeks after I did. Why? And the thing is that when she was, and before I even saw that, her being a hypocrite, is when I told, I was defending myself. I was like, it's really none of your business what I do with my family.
And again, you shouldn't have to justify yourself for spending time with your family. If you took all the security precautions during that time, you don't have to justify yourself for this.
Yeah, and I know this was during COVID peak season, and I was considerate about everybody that we were near. Nobody was near us. It was just us, the family, together. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to feel that normalcy that we once felt when that was happening. And then she feels like she needs to also, by the way, slam me in public in her Telegram group, and some person joins in with her. It was another girl that I knew. And I don't associate with those people anymore because they felt like they need to overpower me for some reason. And I told them, listen. And they got upset because I'm not a yes man to anybody. I don't care your position. Doesn't matter how high you are. Yeah.
Should talk about the YouTube channel and everything.
That's actually the point I was going to get to after this. But anyways, if you are... Yeah, I know you did. That's actually something I was going to mention after it. But anyways, guys, if you are watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel on Top Dogs. If you want to be notified for any other content that's coming up, please click the notification bell to keep up. And if you don't, this stream is going to do something bad. And also keep in mind that we also have we also have streaming audio as well. If you don't follow us on there, this stream is going to do something to you as well.
Well, if you do subscribe and hit that bell notification and you follow us on our all different audio media streaming platforms, I'm going to give you a ticket where you can sit on my lap for 5 minutes and give you all the head pats you need. Good boy.
There's also something I want to inform you about something we have, but let me explain the context about this before we continue on with the episode. In context, there is going to be an event. Now, we do not have a set date, nor do we have a set time. There is no official date of when this is going to happen. But if you want to stay up to date about any events that we are planning, because we are planning one, please subscribe and follow us. And if you want to know more, after you follow and subscribe to us to anything, it will also lead you to our Discord server or our Telegram group. So if you join our Discord server and our Telegram group, you will be updated with that information. So if you guys want to be a part of events, subscribe right now, follow us on our audio platforms, and keep up to date. If you want but I will say this, anybody that's on the audio, you will not find it in the description on our audio files. You will need to go to our YouTube channel, Top Dogs, and look in any description of any video that we posted. It will be in the description where our Discord server is, if you want to be up to date with that. And Telegram group would be a little bit more. We have to give you that personally.
Yeah, we have a link tree and down in the description below. You can find all the links to me, to Fiction, to Whiplash, the Discord, the audio streaming platforms where we're on. So everything is down there in the link tree, in the doobly-doo. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, come join us in Discord. We don't bite. We'd love to talk with you guys, have more feedback, what do you guys think and stuff. We try to spend time in voice chat, too.
If you guys do join on Discord servers and you want to chat with us on the voice chat, we are more than welcome to. Me and Stream and Whiplash have been on there many times, and we also have this assumption that most people are scared to talk to us for some reason.
It did happen this week. Somebody was like, "Oh, but you weren't there. I didn't want to bother you." I'm like, "If I'm there, it's because you can't join in." That's adorable.
That's kind of under the assumption that we're in. So don't be afraid of us. We're still ordinary people like you guys. Anyways,
We're not better than anyone.
topic.
We're just
Yeah,
same normal.
we just make
people.
content.
You would just make dumb stuff on the internet and wholesome content.
That's what we're good at. Not always wholesome with you, but you know what I mean. What do you?
Yeah, like the other week.
God.
So if I was to get back on track, do you think there is a matter of jealousy involved or envy in people who start drama, self-esteem issues as well? We'll start off with Stream.
Hold on. Dude, just I wasn't focused. I was winking at Blue.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there is a matter of jealousy?
Oh yes, oh yes. There's most of the time it's not always conscious when they do it, but a lot of people that start drama, they envy the person they're targeting. They look at this person, they envy it, and then they notice something they're doing, and then they start calling them out for it. Most of the time, that's what I see. I mean, the thing is with the furries, if you think about it, it's a very me myself type of community. It's like, look at my persona, look at my fursuit, look at my avatar, look at my art. It's always about like what do I do? And you have to be careful with that because you can get stuck in this loop and you get over your head with this popularity and stuff. You got to remember what your origins are, where you come from. And don't let that get too much, that popularity get in your head. Be very careful with that. I've
seen it bring a lot of people
down a few years back. Yes, I almost got stuck in that loop, and my husband, the moment he noticed, he shot me down from it, and I've never done it again.
I've been aware of what it can do to you as well, but that's before, when I've seen it happen, and I've seen it took it down a lot of people, and it eventually does catch up to you if you keep continuously and consistently letting it be about you and not the people. And I will tell you this, if you're well known in whatever you do, whether it be content creation on TikTok, social media personality on Twitter, or if you're a Twitch streamer, I'll tell you this right now. People remember you for what you do content-wise and what you do for them. If you go out of your way, and I'm pointing out people who actually have made it, so to speak, in terms of those things, you had to go out of your way, as I said before, to make them happy. And you have to learn to enjoy it, because if you're not, then you probably shouldn't have been doing what you're doing. Especially that, because if a fan was to come up to me and be like, "Hey, can I have a picture with you?" Give them the goddamn picture.
Yeah, just say yes. Just be nice to them.
Because people remember the little things you've done to them, and whatever good thing or bad thing, even bad things, people remember what you did to them, and usually those little things add up about how you are as a person. Little things do matter.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Dark and Blue.
Pretty much definitely agree with that. In a way, it's not really just about popularity. Like, it may get to your head, but being popular doesn't matter as much as being able to get along with other people and have them be like a part of you in a way. You know?
Yeah, there's many popular furries that I don't necessarily vibe with, but that doesn't mean I do not like them as individuals. I'm just not their type of person that I would like to hang out with, because but the type of person who they are is not because I think they're bad people to hang out with. It's just not my type. Like, if somebody was into a popular furry was into, let's say, My Little Pony, for example, I couldn't vibe with that because that's not my type of show.
Exactly.
I mean, we're not meant to get along with everyone, and it's not because you get in a fight, in an argument with someone, that it gives you the right to shoot that person down so that nobody around him hangs out with them. It's not because you have an issue that other people will have issues as well. So usually when I have like two friends that I get along and we're like a triangle of friendship, and one friend start attacking the other, I will always take the defense of the person getting attacked, because my real friend will never attack each other. They will never bash each other. They will do it in respect, and they will never do it publicly. So if you have a friend that does that to somebody, I don't think it's people that you should be spending time with, because these people can end up being very toxic in your life, and they can end up manipulating people around you. So
it
just
is also
be
not
very wary and careful of that.
It's not uncommon that a lot of popular furries hang out with each other, but most of the people don't really know, because I've hanged out with a lot of them before. I don't necessarily get along with them, nor do I get along with them. It's more like, you're okay, you know, you're not my type of person I usually hang out with, but that's fine. If we need to do what we need to do to make content, that's fine. I can work with that. But you're not the type of person I want to hang out with, because we don't have a lot of common, so to speak. It's not because I don't like you.
They're not necessarily
there's
a bad
only a
person.
few.
It just doesn't vibe.
There's a few popular furries that I do know, that I do hang out with, and I do talk to on a sometimes. And you know, they're the only rare few that I actually do talk to. Example for TikTok is Whiplash and Stream. There's also some fursuiters that I know that I've hanged out with that are, you know, cool, and I hang out. Okay, I've hanged out a couple of times with Dexter Dingo. I like the dude. He's crazy. He's obnoxious, but I love his energy, because I like that kind of person. I like the craziness he brings to the table. He's a wonderful person for doing that, and he could, you know, like the funny thing is that me and him, if I can bring up a good memory that I've had with him, was when I was playing. I was playing Nintendo Switch with him at his house, and he was a big asshole to me. But it was during that game, it was Mario Party. Everybody's an asshole in that game. And he was a big one to me, but you know what?
Mario Party.
Yeah, but the thing is, I actually like that memory with him.
Right there.
I actually like that memory with him because it was fun, because he got his boyfriend involved to take me down and stuff, and his boyfriend was very nice. I don't necessarily vibe with the guy because I barely know him, but it was a good memory that I've had with Daxter.
I actually have something to add on that, though. I've had experiences like that before. So this was back, like, the Wii version of Mario Party came out, right? Like, back in the day. At the time, I had a girlfriend. I didn't like her dad. He didn't like me. But we got along over Mario Party for some odd reason. And
wow, that is
we
cool.
teamed up against her. She was like winning with like 7 stars. We teamed up against her and we just stole everything from her. We made her lose the game big time.
Yeah.
Oh, poor her.
Aw. That's how it is. But you know, some people, but like I said, but not everybody can vibe with the people I can necessarily hang out with. Like, you know, maybe some people don't like me for being, you know, a positive figure and being angry about it. But, you know, some people may not like Stream for, you know, being over exaggeration of a daddy. You know, some people might not like that.
Literally every video.
I can't please everyone. There's no way out there you can please everyone. You could be the most generous, amazing, caring person, and there's still going to be one guy out there who's going to think you're a complete, utter asshole. No matter what you do.
But I'll tell you, if you want to know a fake person, is usually people who pretend to be someone they're not. I know, for example, like, if someone was to say, you know, hey, I am, let's say, I'm a quote-unquote guy that likes to work out. I'll use one of my friends who used to be this way. This is a non-furry, but this is one of my friends who said who likes to work out. And I love working out too. Fortunately, I had to take a break from it because of health reasons, but I'm going to get back to it eventually. But he said he was a guy that, you know, liked to work out. And when I was at my peak, I always asked him, hey, come with me to the gym. He's like, nah, I don't want to. I'm playing video games with my friends. And you said the first and the second time is fine, but if it's a consistent thing, you're being fake about who you are. you're not really being honest with yourself. Those kinds of things. If those consistent behaviors, are constant, you're not really being you, so to speak. You're even lying to me to seem cool in your eyes, which is you being dishonest with yourself. Which, if you don't like working out, that's fine. You don't need to work out to be my friend.
And
Like,
honestly,
I'm not gonna
I believe
lie,
that.
me personally,
Go ahead.
I want to work out, but I'm just too lazy to do so.
But you're just honest with
You're
yourself.
being honest. You're being honest.
But
And it's okay.
I'm trying
And
to
you can
force
say,
myself
I want to go to the
like,
gym, but I can't find the motivation to do so. That's
Exactly.
okay as well.
It also comes
And
down
it
to the
annoys me,
mental
though.
thing.
And you know what?
Comes down to
It's-
mentality.
One thing I've realized with age and experience, I'm about to turn 31, and it's some people might consider that being very young, and some people might consider that old. The one thing I've realized is that just be honest, because any sort of lying that you do, eventually the truth will come up. So just cut the middleman and just be honest. And honestly, it just makes things a whole lot simpler. Yeah, it might hurt a little bit more at first when you say that truth, as long as you're being respectful, of course. But all those lies you can tell people, at one point they'll figure it out. It was not right, and you're gonna lose friends over that. Is it worth it? Not really. So be true to yourself. If you can't do it, just say it. I can't do it. Why? Because I'm scared of it, or I can't do this.
I've had people come up to me who are furries that are like they want to work out, but they're too scared about what other people might think of them while they're there. But the thing is, though, I always tell them this: most people who do go to the gym, they're in it for themselves. They don't care what you look like. They care about what they look like. And if there is one person that's putting you down because of your body, they're a douchebag. And they're trying to feel like they need to be better than everybody else. Nobody likes that kind of person at the gym. And in the fitness community, nobody usually likes that kind of person at the gym. And I'm just being straight up honest. If people are worried about how people look to other people and they don't really care. They care about themselves, how they physically look. They don't care about what you're trying to do. If you want to strike up a conversation with them about anything besides the fitness, go ahead. If you want to ask advice from them, go ahead. But I always tell that to people because a lot of people don't seem to understand that. So, yeah. If somebody's asking you for advice, don't try to give people advice in the fitness community if they don't want it. Don't do that. But if they come up to you and they are asking for advice, then, be honest with them. That kind of thing.
Or if you see that they're doing something wrong, you can say, hey, I've noticed something. Can I give you some advice? They'll say yes or no. If they say no, like, okay, well, have a good day. And you move away from them. And they don't
try
want
to
advice.
push it.
That is fine. Respect that.
That's
Don't call
gonna be
them an
annoying.
asshole because they don't want to hear you. Just respect the fact they didn't want advice, and that's their problem.
Yeah, one of our DevOps team, I was asking him for some help, but the thing is, he told me, hey, I'm at Walt Disney right now. I'm trying to have a good time. We talked about this previously in our chat here, so you can find it. I was like, okay, that's fine. There's been many times I'm not, because we get guilty of that because I have short-term memories sometimes. But anyways, we're going to bring this back up. What are some ways that may be useful for others when dealing with drama? We'll start with you, Stream.
Well, what are some other ways that can be useful? I think it's good to have like a confidant, somebody that you can trust, one or two at most, that you can tell them what's going on and ask for advice on what you should do. And again, if you've listened to the podcast, those advice should be similar to what we said, but of course it's not a solution for every situation. So I think it's good to have one confidant that you can really trust, and not just a random friend you met online, like somebody that you could trust them with any sort of information and they will never leak that information. You can ask them for help or advice because they could be objective on the situation and tell you what to do. Honestly, I said earlier that if you see some sort of drama, you should ignore it. And if you're going to be posting things online, it's either neutral or positive. And if you receive drama, the way I dealt with my situation with me sitting on the car is I couldn't sit there and just say nothing. I couldn't stand it. I was so mad and frustrated. But again, I'm like, no, it's only neutral or positive. It's like, what can I do? And the solution was turn it into a joke. So I said publicly in the comments, I'm like, dude, I know that you're just jealous and you just want to have a piece of this. And the guy actually came in private and apologized, and it completely fixed my relationship with that person. And right now, I'm totally fine with them. I have no beef anymore. And you know what's funny is that people you get involved with into arguments and fight, once you two communicate and fix it, it happens pretty often that this guy actually becomes a friend. Believe it or not, I had it happen to me 3 times already.
Oh my god!
Now there is going to be
It's
some
hard.
people that you cannot fix.
You have to think about it. Yeah,
There is some people that
there's
you
people that are
can.
lost cases.
Like, for example, when I was a victim of certain circumstances about some drama that was involved with me long ago, there was no fixing that issue because, you know, the things that, you know, they were talking about was definitely not okay with me, and I chose to be not okay with it, and I never spoke to them again. I left them out of my life and never spoke to them again. Nor did I ever try to mention it, but they and the reason why I know they wanted a response from me is because I was choosing to ignore it, and they were playing the whole, well, he's not really responded to it, that means, quote unquote, you know, he is guilty of whatever he did. And I'm like, no, that's quite the opposite. You're trying to manipulate people's opinions about how it works. Usually people that are guilty or are in trouble for knowing what they did is usually they delete their accounts. And another thing is what I don't understand, and I'm going to ask this real question. If there is, especially there has been accusations that are considered illegal, but a lot of, and the thing is though, is with people who do that kind of shit is, hey, if it's that big of a deal and you know it's illegal, why have you not reported this at the police department? Why are you posting it online?
Yeah,
because the thing is what the thing is.
Go ahead.
The thing is though is that what. That's what we deal with. But the thing is what people don't seem to realize about these things, about when you post this publicly online, it's also defamation of character, which is also very illegal. So you shoot yourself in the foot if people know law. A lot of people don't really know that, especially in our own community. Because if you know you're just doing it to start stuff, and you don't have the money to back yourself up, and if they want to bring it to a real legal situation, especially defamation of character, and you can't pay that, well, that sucks, because now you're like, well, crap.
Shoot you.
Well, crap. So you remember, people, you got to be careful about what you say about people online, because that can be used against you. And I'm not talking about, oh, I'm going to tell my friend you said this about me. No, I'm talking about actual legal stuff.
Yeah,
illegal and illegal stuff. You're going to be dealing with judges and police. That's not good, and that's unfortunate that a lot of furries don't know that.
Yeah, I've actually experienced something like that. One of my friends ended up making a massive rumor about one of my friends, posted things online, pretty much ruined his life because of a claim. I don't want to get into specific, but let's just say it's something terrible that would literally put you in jail for years. Yeah.
I don't tolerate any sort of public shaming on that kind of stuff. If somebody's doing something illegal, contact the authorities, because I don't know if the shit you're saying is actually true or not. I don't know if you're doing this to get back at somebody. I don't know what you're saying is true or not. And you end up destroying somebody's life. And they could end up doing horrible actions against themselves, which I'm not going to mention because I'm pretty sure you can read between the lines. But I had a friend of mine, it was so bad, the accusation he got received, that he ended up locking himself away from the furry fandom. He completely left. It wasn't something illegal, but it's something he was doing that he didn't even know was not acceptable in the furry fandom. He thought he was fine, but I explained it to him. But you know, if somebody does something illegal, contact the authorities. Don't do that publicly. It's unacceptable. My husband was sexually abused, and he didn't publicly shame the person that did the stuff. He actually went to the police office, to a police department and actually file a complaint and did the procedure, and now that person is in jail.
Yeah, that's usually when people post that kind of thing. Usually I can't take it to heart, because if it was really a big deal, why haven't you reported to the police? Even if you knew it was illegal.
Yep.
That's the one thing. So you should...
There's also those false accusations too, like exactly like I was explaining. They falsely were reporting stuff that never actually happened with my friend. Instead,
so they made false accusations.
We got the police involved, and they found out it was my other friend who was trying to get him arrested was actually the one doing stuff like that. So he's the one that ended up getting arrested in the long run.
He ended up shooting himself in the foot.
Karma gets you back.
Karma. There you go.
So the thing is that, yeah, if you do get involved with the police department and any type of, the thing is, they're not just going to arrest you just because they're going to take your word for it. That's not how that's not how the police department works. There's a procedure of how they do it. They find evidence of what you said is true, and they come to a conclusion and they make that decision. If your alibi is not good enough, they're not going to take you seriously.
But yeah,
if there's a lack of evidence and they want to go after you for defamation of character, they can, and they will have proof of it because you shamed them online.
Yep, everybody saw it, so you ended up, you end up in a worse situation.
Yeah, just remember that, people, because if you do start drama with somebody and even it turns out to be false drama, and all the victims who did believe it will use that against you.
And again, those people that are making those public accusations, don't justify yourself, because it ends up most of the time being perceived as you trying to justify it because you're actually guilty of something. So if you see stuff like that, just ignore it. Completely ignore it.
Yeah. Now, there is some situations where it has been proven that people have done things that are not necessarily okay. I can name many things that Furry's done that was not okay, but it was not illegal. And usually people want to start drama about that because, hey, they got caught on camera and stuff like that. But who cares? I mean,
or copying art. That was my friend thing that was happening, but he didn't know he was copying.
Oh yeah, but there is some people like that have drama about certain things. I'm not going to mention their names, nor am I going to mention the situation. But there was a time where a guy did something, very nasty. Nothing illegal, but it was definitely nasty. And then they want to put him down for that. That's still defamation of character, people.
Yeah.
You're making fun of somebody based on the choices they made. And even though I may not like what they're doing, what gives you the right to judge them? You could be doing something. You could be doing something a whole lot worse than they would, or you're doing something that might be a little bit taboo. So keep in mind of what you do, because everybody, just be careful what you say.
Yeah, I think everybody is weird. It's just some people are better at hiding it than others.
That's a good point.
One of those people that can easily hide things.
But yeah, I think we're about to reach the end. We're pretty much at the end of the episode, though.
Yeah, but that's when I'm starting about the questions of the week. What is the one way that...
Oh. And he cuts out. You're back.
Whoops.
I thought it was my internet.
Yeah.
I
thought I crashed there for a moment.
Like, hold on.
Okay, let me restart that. Let's hope I don't crash.
It's like log off.
That's perfect timing. You should clip that. Anyways, the question of the week is, what is the one way that you, the audience, deals with drama?
You can write down in the comments below, or in our link tree, we have a form where you can submit your answers if you want to, and we can read them in the next episodes.
Yep. But anyways, that concludes today's episode. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. We'll see you guys next week on the next episode. And keep in mind, we are going to be planning events with our own community. There is no official dates just yet, so I'm going to repeat that again. There is no official days just yet. If you want to know more information, subscribe to our channel, follow us on our audio platforms, and like I said, if you're listening to this from the audio platforms, you want to go into our Discord server, you're going to have to go to our YouTube, go to Top Dogs, watch any video, go to any video you want, and our Top Dogs Discord server will be in the description. That's the best way if you want to get some updates in our events. We will not officially say there is going to be an event happening on this day at this time. You have to be following us and, following us at the same time if you want that information.
Yeah, so the link tree is in the link tree, the link to everything, the Discord, the Telegram, and everything is in the description of the YouTube video. You can also find that link tree on our TikTok challenge, TikTok channel, which I invite you to follow us. And it's also on our Twitter. So it's always the same thing, Top Dogs, plural podcast. You can look it up.
All right. See you guys next week. Bye.
Have a good one. Good night.